Happy Money Making Monday, gang. CJ Curry here. We're talking more NBA player props here on this lovely Monday. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, this is your opportunity to hit the subscribe button. It's free for you to do. I'm dropping videos regularly Monday through Friday here on the channel, doing all the player prop research for you, saving you some time and effort, and hopefully we cash out together with these picks. So appreciate all the love and support. Speaking of, we're on our way to 30,000 subscribers. We're super close. If you guys could leave a like on this video, maybe share it with a friend or somebody you know who's playing player props, whether it be on PrizePicks or your favorite sports book, it would mean a lot to me. It would go a long way to help spreading awareness about the channel and growing things here on YouTube. Speaking of growing things, I gotta give another shout out to our guy, Space Jam the DJ. He is absolutely growing people's bankroll inside of our Dub Club community. Let me pull up what he was doing over the weekend and show you guys once again, because this guy's been on a heater, and I've been close, but he's been hotter than me lately, admittedly. But thank God he's a part of the community. If you see this slip here, he dropped back on the 1st of November, just a couple of days ago. It went 25x. 6 out of 6 right on this first half only slip. Absolutely crushed it. And of course, you know, all of our members inside of Dub Club, inside of our community, a lot of folks tailed this, a lot of winning picks over the weekend. I'll just quickly scroll through all the winning slips. I mean, just green after green after green. A lot of close calls. There's some 2X's in there. We hit a lot of 4 out of 6. So we're knocking on the door almost every single day when it comes to a big payout. So I want you guys to be a part of this. I want you to be a part of the community, and here's your opportunity to do so for a discount. Yeah, for $10 you can get inside of the Dub Club here for your first month. That's pretty damn cheap. That's just a little bit over 30 cents per day over the course of an entire month. So after that, it becomes $20 a month. Still a great value, 67 cents per day, $5 a week, however you want to look at it. But yeah, definitely take advantage. You can cash in with myself, Space Jam, the rest of the community, and we'd love to have you in there. Just a family-friendly, focused player prop group, sports betting group, and we're looking for more members each and every day, so would love if you guys joined us. All right, what are we playing on PrizePicks today? Well, I got a few different options. It's a decent sized slate. I won't call it small, I won't call it large. It's about a medium sized slate, but I noticed that a lot of the games on this slate have spreads of 10 or more points. Now, what does that mean? What's a spread? Well, that means what a team is expected to beat the other team by, 10 or more points, which means major blowout risk, blowout potential in a lot of these games. So just like my friend Space Jam did with his 6 out of 6 25x slip, you might want to think about taking some first half only props. We won't talk about those in today's video. I'm going to talk about full game props, but just an idea, a way for you to kind of mitigate some risks of a potential blowout. Look at those NBA first half only options. It's just one of the many reasons why I love playing on PrizePicks. They're one of the only apps that I know of that offers those first half props. But looking at some of these full game props here, Karl Anthony Towns caught my eye here at 11 rebounds going up against the Washington Wizards. They are on a back-to-back. I believe Mitchell Robinson played yesterday. He hasn't been playing in back-to-backs. Yeah, this is a back-to-back for them, but Karl Anthony Towns is doing a really good job of collecting at least 11 rebounds or more. And if Mitchell Robinson happens to sit, then Towns would slide into that true center spot rather than that power forward spot alongside of Mitchell Robinson. And I think his rebound chances and the potential for him to get 11 or more rebounds here becomes that much better. But even at 11, whether Mitchell Robinson's playing or not, I'm still liking this one just based on what he's done here this season and historically speaking against the Washington Wizards. So with that in mind, let's take a closer look at this. Taking a look at the 2025 game logs. We're starting to get a good amount of game logs under our belt, a good amount of data about, you know, what these players' roles are going to be this season, how many minutes we can kind of expect them to get. Rotations are starting to kind of iron themselves out, and we're getting just a better, clearer picture of what a team and a role that these guys are going to play on those teams. The identity is starting to take shape. But nonetheless, Karl Anthony Towns with 11 or more rebounds in every game except for one, which is against the Chicago Bulls, and that was on Halloween. He had 10, so he came really close but no cigar. The rest of these games, he had 11 against Cleveland, 13 against Boston, 18 against Miami, 12 against Milwaukee, and 15 in that rematch game against the Chicago Bulls. So looking really good here. When you take a look at the matchup on paper against the Washington Wizards, well, they're a team that gives up a lot of rebounds, over 50 rebounds per game. That's 29th ranked. So in terms of matchup, yeah, this is a good one for Karl Anthony Towns against the Washington Wizards. Now, if Towns slots in at the power forward spot, it's not too shabby here. They rank dead last or first in rebounds allowed to the power forward position, over 15.5 rebounds allowed to opposing power forwards this season. So that's looking really good here on paper. And if he happens to slide over to the center spot, well, they still rank 21st in rebounds allowed to the center position at over 13.5 rebounds per game. So either way you cut it, either way it's sliced, Karl Anthony Towns, with or without Mitchell Robinson in the lineup, in a really good position here. Speaking of position, let's see how he's done against Washington in the past. Well, he's recorded 12, 14, 13, and 11 rebounds against the Wizards in his last 4 head-to-heads. So again, everything looking really good here on paper. Historically speaking, the matchup looks great. But let's also take a look at some projection models. And for that, I'm going to go over to my tried and true #1 favorite here, which is RotoWire. RotoWire's got a number of different ways that you could play Karl Anthony Towns. Pretty much any of his props that include his rebounds are listed under the Lean More section of this fantastic RotoWire PrizePicks player prop tool. And so you've got over on the 11 rebounds, over on the 14.5 rebounds and assists, and even the points and rebounds at 33.5. But let's open up his player card and we'll take a look at the projection here. He's projected for 15.93 rebounds, nearly 16 boards. That's a differential of 4.93 rebounds. I thought that seemed like a silly high projection, but when we look at some of these other projection models, they kind of echo this sentiment here that they expect Karl Anthony Towns to absolutely crash the glass. So let's do that. Let's slide on over to Shot Quality and check out their projection for Towns and his rebounds. They got him all the way up at 15.69, a totally different player prop projection model than RotoWire with their own proprietary projections, but yet they still have Towns for more than 15 rebounds. Again, his line is sitting at 11 right now. It's just kind of silly. I think he will get bumped up to 11.5. They have to. Seeing that some of these projection models have him as high as 15, they can't leave him at 11. I mean, I just don't think that would be very smart. But what do I know? Anyway, moving on. Let's get you another projection here for Karl Anthony Towns. We're going to go over to Betting Pros. They've got a more reasonable, lower projection here. Conservative number, 12.1 rebounds, but still a whole rebound plus higher than his line at 11 on PrizePicks. So liking some Karl Anthony Towns over 11 boards. The next pick, we're sticking with the rebounds and the big men, and I'm going to go with Domantas Sabonis of the Sacramento Kings for at least 11 or more rebounds, going up against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Now, this is one of those games that I warned you about. It has a pretty high spread. So, I would be kind of careful, kind of cautious with some of these games. Like I said, a majority of them have blowout potential. And when teams get blown out, like Sacramento is expected to do by Denver, that means the starters are not going to play their full complement of minutes. And minutes are the lifeblood of a player prop, especially if you're thinking about taking the over on some of these guys. If they're not out there on the floor, they can't get you rebounds. And so there lies some risk involved with some of these props. But nonetheless, here, Sabonis at 11 rebounds, also looking really good, just like Karl Anthony Towns. Take a look at the 2025 season for Sabonis. He has now hit 11 or more rebounds in every single game that he has appeared in. So doing a really good job of either landing on 11 or exceeding 11 in most cases. And so things are looking kind of nice here on paper. Now, what about the matchup? Well, overall, Denver is pretty stingy in terms of rebounds allowed. But when you slide on over here to positional rebounds allowed, well, Nikola Jokic has given up the 20th most rebounds allowed to opposing centers. And Domantas Sabonis has definitely taken advantage of this matchup in the past. If we go to the head-to-head section of Outlier, by the way, if you like what you're seeing here, this tool, Outlier, I've got a link for you down in the description below. Take it for a 7-day free trial, see if you like it. And if you do, use my promo code, and maybe they'll hook you up with something special. But anyway, head-to-head speaking, Sabonis has done really well against Joker. 14 rebounds, 19 rebounds, and 12 rebounds in their last 3 head-to-heads. So again, Sabonis, definitely a hard-working rebounder. He has had some very good success here, averaging about 15 rebounds per game against the Denver Nuggets in the last 3 head-to-head matchups. Now, let's apply some projections and see how the projection models are liking these guys. Starting with Sabonis on RotoWire. Popping open his player card here, he is projected for 13.45 rebounds. Again, that's a differential of almost 2.5 boards versus where he's currently sitting on PrizePicks at just 11 boards. And there's a lot of love for Sabonis today on the RotoWire projection tool, whether it be rebounds and assists, just the rebounds like we're discussing, points and rebounds, points, rebounds, and assists, you name it. Pretty much anything that involves his rebounds is looking favorable for the over or more option. Going over to shot quality and popping in Sabonis' name there, you can see he is projected for 13.17 rebounds, so more than 2 rebounds higher than where he's currently sitting at just 11 boards. So this is another one of those props where I could definitely see maybe PrizePicks bumping this up to 11.5 before tip-off. So definitely want to grab it at 11 if you can. And let's look at another projection. We'll go back over here to Betting Pros. Betting Pros, by the way, is a free tool, free projections, so you can go over to bettingpros.com and check them out if you would rather check out some free projections. They got them. He is projected for 11.7 rebounds over on Betting Pros. So they do have him slightly more than 11. Not as high as some of the other projection models, but still more than 11. And that's what we're hoping for with Sabonis today. The last pick is going to be kind of a controversial one, but I'm going with D'Angelo Russell. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride to start the season out for D'Lo, but D'Angelo Russell is seeing more minutes over his last few games. And with those minutes, he's been doing a good job of going over 6 rebounds and assists. So if those minutes continue to trend upwards, 25 to 30 plus minutes, well, maybe he's got a chance here. Houston, again, is another one of these teams that's favorited to beat the Dallas Mavericks by more than 10 points. It's a potential blowout, but you never know. You know, sometimes these games that are expected to blow out end up becoming competitive. And at 6 rebounds and assists, I mean, this looks like a number that, even if it does turn into a blowout type game where he only plays 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, you know, he could get there at 6.5 rebounds and assists. It's a low enough line that I'm willing to take a shot here. But let's go ahead and take a closer look under the lens here, under the scope of Outlier. Outlier showing us some game logs here for D'Angelo Russell, a total of 6 for D'Lo this season. Now, I want to point out the differential in minutes here, which is something you can do with Outlier. If you go under to the supporting stats category here and you click minutes, you can see he's averaging about 22.1 minutes per game this season. But the first couple games of the season, 15.1 minutes, 8.5 minutes. Since those 2 games, which we can basically just throw away, he's had 29.2, 30.4, 19.7, which isn't good. Hopefully he gets more than that tonight. And then 29.9 against Detroit in the most recent game. So last 4 games, he's definitely seeing an uptick in minutes. If he gets, 20 plus minutes like he has in these games, well, he's cashed the over on his 6 rebounds and assists in every one of those games. 11 RA against the Toronto Raptors, followed up by 12 RA. Next game, he had 7. That was the game where he played just about 20 minutes. That was against the Indiana Pacers. Finished with 7 rebounds and assists in that one. And then most recently, 10 rebounds and assists in a 12-point defeat to the Detroit Pistons. So he's 4 for his last 4 with these elevated minutes. Hopefully, again, those elevated minutes continue to remain elevated. But looking at this matchup here, it's not the sexiest one on paper. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. They rank second do the Houston Rockets in rebounds allowed overall. So not a great matchup there. But in terms of assists allowed, kind of a middle-of-the-road, mid-pack team in assists allowed. Now, against point guards, which is primarily where D'Angelo Russell plays, I mean, you could make the argument that maybe he plays some shooting guard. Him, Cooper Flagg, I mean, they're both kind of backcourt guys here for Dallas. But point guards, not a good matchup. Rebounds, they rank second. Assists, they rank 6th. But it gets a lot better if you're a shooting guard. So kind of depending on where D'Angelo Russell lines up, I guess you could say. 17th in rebounds allowed to shooting guards and 22nd in assists allowed. So loving what I'm seeing here again with the elevated minutes and the fact that he has been producing at a pretty high clip. And we just need 6 rebounds and assists or better for D'Angelo Russell to cash out. So let's check out some projection models on D'Angelo Russell. We go back over here to RotoWire. Most of the D'Angelo Russell props that involve his points are going to be lean less according to RotoWire's tool. Now, they take into consideration a number of different things: hit rates, their own proprietary algorithms and projections for a player and how they might perform, historical numbers, and they look at some sportsbook data as well. So most of these are lean less, but that's anything that kind of involves his points. Now, anything that takes out his points, he's a lean more option according to RotoWire. You got 6 rebounds and assists for the over, or just the assists on their own. You could go that route as well. He's an over there too. So pretty good numbers here. Let's open up the projection for D'Angelo Russell. His projection is 7.97 rebounds and assists, so nearly 2 RA higher than where his line is currently sitting at 6 on PrizePicks. Let's move on to another projection. We'll check out shot quality. Their projection for D'Angelo Russell is also a very favorable one. 7.49, not Russell Westbrook, sorry, D'Angelo Russell. 7.49, so the line's 6. His projection's about 7.5, so 1.5 rebounds plus assist differential. I like what I'm seeing on that projection. And then we'll check the last one here. We'll go betting pros for this last projection. And D'Angelo Russell is projected for about 4.6 assists and, well, they don't have his rebounds. There we go. 7.2 total rebounds and assists. So again, 1.2 rebounds and assists higher. So there's 3 different projection models. They all like D'Angelo Russell to hit or clear 6 rebounds and assists. So that's what I have for you for Monday. What are you guys thinking? You liking these? You hating these? Are you tailing them? Are you fading them? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you have a pick that you like, maybe you leave that down in the comment section below. Maybe somebody who's watching this video sees your pick and your recommendation. They tail and they cash out. That's what this is all about. It's us versus them, gang. Us, the community, versus PrizePicks, the competition. Let's lock in. Let's try to make Monday a profitable day. If you're in Dub Club Discord, I'll see you guys on the inside. I'll be posting more slips. We've got NBA, we've got NHL, and we've got Monday Night Football. Lots of different ways to get paid. Let's get after it. Peace.